how do you separate your emotional connection towards these, relationships, knowing they're not going to stay with you long term, those relationships, knowing that you're not going to potentially commit long term? Like, how do you navigate the emotions of knowing, like, hey, this is a lot of fun and we're hanging out and connecting for a few months, but also knowing this isn't the guy for me?
I think there's kind of sex is important. So when you're having a good sexual relationship with someone, that doesn't always mean you love them. It means you have fun with them. And that actually could be a pull, but you can't be blindsided by that emotion and that hormone.
That's a challenge. That bonds a lot of people, right?
It's very bonding because there's extreme things that happen after your orgasm, where you're having all these hormones, and oxytocin and all this stuff that makes you feel very close to that person. But I think we have to have conversations with ourselves, private conversations with ourselves, and look at the truth of what this is. And I was with someone and I just had the best time. And he's, he was really funny and, really great. Not going to be the father.
Really?
No, because for me, I wanted to know that I would find someone who loves my children as much as I do.
Wow.
And I wasn't going to take anything less.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. That's interesting. It sounds like, so you were married twice before, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then we were talking off camera about how you met him in the same year I was born, about months before I was born. Mm-hmm. You guys met, you and Kurt, right?
But I know. I mean, it's so crazy looking at you because
41
you're
years
a
ago.
Man.
I'm a man. You met him 41 years ago.
You were a man, and you came out a baby boy.
Isn't that crazy?
So funny.
A month after you guys met or you got together,
yeah,
I came out.
You did.
And what if you can go back to that time? How have you been able to make that work? Where you guys have been able to, raise two different families, come together, join families, and be happily together for 41 years in this industry.
We both look at each other and go, oh my God, can you believe it? You have to want a relationship to work. You just do. I mean, there's all kinds of arguments that come up and things you don't agree on and all this stuff. And, Kurt and I don't have a big, we don't always align politically. And, but, I like him.
Mm.
I whatever he thinks or all this stuff, I think, well, that's his thought. So you have to individuate, because your man or your woman is not ever going to be everything, the perfect dream. And they're not going to be just like you. I think if I had somebody agreeing with me all the time, I'd go crazy because there's no friction. But when you get into these dilemmas and having a relationship to sex and all the things that happen when you're on a movie set, it really it's like a family. And then you can actually create these relationships that feel very deep. They feel very connected. And it's a caution because there could be relationships that are happening there that you're not even aware of. And all of a sudden you're realizing that's all I'm thinking about. And you got somebody at home, boyfriend or husband or whatever. And I think men are more vulnerable in many ways because they're more, sort of visually active. They don't necessarily want to marry the person, but, they want to, excuse the French, do the
have
old
fun with the
hen
person.
out. Yeah. And so that's kind of how it works. And so it's fragile. Because you can't help but think, oh my God, he's going to work. It was such a beautiful girl. God, how's he going to resist that?
How did you navigate that when he might be on set doing a, intimate scene or something or with beautiful people around? And how did you guys both navigate that? You're doing the different scenes as well.
You just navigate it. You just know that, but she's beautiful and whatever. And, you realize that men are a little different than women. They can have reactions in ways that women can hide or don't. We're much more skillful, I would say. And who got us excited. But, I don't feel that we had many challenges that way. No. I mean, he didn't for me, and I did for him probably a few times. Just
Like got it, like got
natural
insecure or
wonder.
jealous a little bit or something.
I was never jealous. That's a different word. But I've always been sort of thinking about what if. Um, and and he was so sexy and great and such a brilliant actor. But at the end of the day, through all of these things, children and parents and our parents and all the different things that you go through, the different houses you build or that you have, or the time you spend with your children, then your grandchildren start coming. And what happens is that if you like that person, if you want to be together, if one person doesn't want to be together because they feel they're getting older and now they have to be with a young person, or to shore up their their security about being a man, and I'm whatever, and that happens a lot, particularly with wealthy men. So that happens. There's all this crap that can happen, right? But if two people don't want it to happen and only one does, forget it. It's not going to work. If the two people want that because we love family, because this is what we're together, we love each other, we love to play together, we've got great sex together, you get through this stuff. At the end of the day, when your grandchildren start coming, you have a whole different, I would say, feeling of springtime. Because you kind of fall in love again.
Really?
Yep. If you've done it right, you're there for each other. And as people get older, there's more vulnerability. But if you're together, then that's supporting each other, and it's very loving, and it's just amazing.